Hello and welcome to LFC Focus. Liverpool beat Southampton 3-0 in the Premier League today, racking up another 3 points and putting in another really impressive performance against the team who have set up to defend. I mean, this has pretty much been the story of the last few games for Liverpool now. It was a story before the international break. Hopefully it's going to carry on long after it as well, where teams come to Anfield, they really look like they're going to set up to defend. They look like they're going to park the bus, soak up pressure and hope to scab a cheap goal on the break or something like that. And it looks like Liverpool have finally got their act together and worked out a plan of how to deal with these teams. And one very important part of that plan is Mr. Mohamed Salah. I mean, never mind King of Egypt, this guy is king of the world now. Mo Salah is absolutely incredible. People are already making the Suarez comparisons, even though we're only so far into the season. But when you look at the numbers the guy's racking up and the kind of goals he scores, the range of the kind of goals he scores as well, you know, he gets poachers finishes, beautiful finishes, fast, speedy counter-attacks, pretty much anything you can think of. And 14 goals in 18 games is bonkers. I mean, never mind getting a 20 goal a season striker. He's easily going to break 30 goals at this rate, and he could even get 40. Who knows? But he is absolutely fantastic. Proved that again today. Absolutely changed the game for Liverpool. I mean, I really thought this was going to be another one where we'd have to stick it out till half-time at 0-0 and then hope that we get a few more chances later on in the second half as the opposition start to tire. I thought it was going to go like that, but thankfully, with a player like Mo Salah, you don't even need to wait for that to happen anymore because he is just simply that good. And that first goal was just brilliant. I mean, from the corner, great from, I think it was Gini Wijnaldum to win the ball back. Doesn't just stop Southampton getting a counter-attack from that set-piece situation. Also sets us on the front foot to get another chance. Great run from Firmino as well. You know, as much as I like Firmino and I do want to see him scoring more goals, playing as Liverpool's number 9, those are the kind of things that Firmino does best. He makes those darting runs, he creates space for the other players in the team, and he does it for Mo Salah there, and it pretty much affords Mo Salah the space to turn, shape his shot, and bend it beautifully past Fraser Forster, I mean. That was a fantastic goal. Absolute beauty from Mo Salah. Pretty much confirmed that he can score any type of goal under the sun and set us up for what was hopefully from there on in going to be a really, not an easy game, but much more relaxed than it was earlier on. Because as I mentioned in the pre-match video, Southampton, decent in defence, not very good going forward. So the main thing for Liverpool was to get that first goal, get it early, and the game would be a lot easier from there on in. And it was really, let's be honest. I mean, there's always this talk when Liverpool don't score at home about there being a nervous atmosphere at Anfield. But as a Liverpool supporter personally, and do tell me in the comments if you feel differently, but I don't really feel that personally for me. When Liverpool aren't scoring and it's 0-0 and it goes on for quite a while, I never feel that nervous because you always feel that, you know, the goal will eventually come, especially with players like Mo Salah in the team. I'm not worried. Even if we do go to like half-time at 0-0, I'm not getting nervous. I'm not thinking, oh God, is it going to be another one of those days? I now have faith in the team that we've got what it takes to deal with those situations. And Mo Salah has absolutely proved that for Liverpool. And then the second goal was really nice as well. Not quite the Hollywood finish of the first one that Mo Salah scored, but great to see that Coutinho to Salah partnership. We saw it an awful lot in pre-season. You know, it really looked like they were going to be players that were basically on a telepathic wavelength, linking up all the time. Hasn't quite materialised in the competitive games quite as much so far this season, but it was on show there. Great pass from Phil Coutinho, great run from Mo Salah to just take out all of the Southampton players and put himself through on goal, and then a really, really smart finish. I mean, remember when Mina Rizuki said that Mo Salah was another Cuadrado and he couldn't finish and he didn't have the head for those kind of one-on-one situations? Rubbish. Just absolute rubbish, wasn't it? Just total nonsense. I mean, yes, the guy has missed a few big chances since he got here, especially earlier on in the season, but since then he's improved even while he's been at Liverpool, and given how good he was when he arrived, the fact that he's improved since then is absolutely incredible. But really good finish from Mo Salah, starting to look like the kind of player who can finish in any situation, as I mentioned earlier, and especially those one-on-one situations where you normally expect your striker to be. So fantastic, nice for him to get another goal and really put Liverpool in control control before half-time. And then the third goal was pretty nice as well. I mean, personally, I think Fraser Forster should have done a lot better. The shot was straight at him. He didn't need to palm it back into space, but nice that Phil Coutinho was there. Tidy little finish to put it in, and from there on in, the game was a complete formality. I mean, Southampton struggled to score one goal as it is, let alone three, so it was really, really nice and comfy from there on in. And nice to see the way Phil Coutinho celebrated, because he really went for it. He really celebrated like a man who's enjoying his football at the moment. So, you know, Barcelona, that's all forgotten about for now, and hopefully forgotten about for the next few years at least as well. But a nice goal from Phil Coutinho, nice for him to get another one for his tally, and all in all, a very, very good win for Liverpool. I mean, it was pretty Benitez-esque, wasn't it, in the way that the game management was really, really impressive, because that's one thing that we've really struggled with since Jurgen Klopp came here. You know, even when Liverpool are playing some fantastic football, when they're blowing teams away, their game management has pretty much always still been found wanting. And over the last month or so, ever since that Spurs game, it's really looked like we've improved our game management. We know how to handle situations. We know how to see our way through an entire 90 minutes, keeping a clean sheet and keeping control over a game when we should do, because those are the games that we should control, and they are the games that teams who finish in the top four have a decent hold on. You know, games against teams like Southampton at home, Liverpool should simply welcome them in and say, look, we have control here, we know what's going down, we are going to win this game, and you're going to have to just deal with it. Too often Liverpool aren't capable of doing that to a team, and finally it looks like they can do it on a regular basis. And I'd like to give an extra shout out as well to the defenders, and in particular the concentration of Liverpool's defenders today, because while I mentioned that, you know, Southampton aren't that great going forward, they still created a few half chances, they still got the ball forward, and especially with Matip having had to have dropped out the side fairly late on with an injury, Lovren and Clavern, so often the Chuckle brothers for Liverpool, were quite impressive today. Not very impressive because they didn't really have that much to do, but still pretty impressive. They dealt with what was thrown at them really well, you know, especially with the fact that Simon Mignolet didn't always look super assured. He did, you know, some sort of weird Cruyff turn / falling over on Shane Long in the first half. So great performance from those centre-backs. Pretty good from the full-backs as well, you know, dealt with everything that was thrown at them defensively reasonably well, and still got forward and helped out the attack. So that was nice to see. And all in all, a really good performance. And hopefully, fingers crossed, Liverpool can keep doing this from now until the end of the season. Because if we keep delivering performances like that, as long as we pick up a few more points against the bigger sides and carry on doing well in the Champions League as well with that Sevilla game on Tuesday, this should hopefully be maybe not a season to remember, because I think with Man City doing so well, talk of the title is a little bit too far ahead of us, but hopefully a top four season, and one that isn't quite as going down to the wire as it was last season. So that's all for today's video. Thank you guys very, very much for watching. I'll be back hopefully tomorrow for the pre-match video for the game against Sevilla, so stay tuned for that. If you haven't subscribed already, hit that button there. Check out some of the other videos that have been out on the channel over the past few days as well, and don't forget to follow at LFC Focus TV on Twitter. Bye for now.